algebra na siya na subject, puro dyan is solving. But then, since this is math in the modern world, the purpose is to learn math differently. So I'll be focusing more on the application, interpretation of the concepts, when to use the concept instead of how to solve the numbers. Because as I mentioned, in reality, you will be hiring statisticians naman if you are to compute something that requires statistic knowledge. Now, since yun yung gagawin, yun yung aking belief, the activity later on will be geared towards the concepts that were already shared to you through the references. So this will also be a test whether or not you have read, scanned through the references provided to you, and to see kung halimbawa mo ang question sa exam, kaya ba ma-answeran? Kung sayon lang ba ang exam, kung yun ani ang concepts involved in the exam. Not exactly the way I'll be presenting it na maudyo dapat ang paggawa sa iya sa exam. But at least na ay ka ng mga learnings along the way. Because what we're going to do later is that before mo mag-answer, i-explain pa naman i-explain ko pa naman yung concept para tama po inyong interpretations later. So, maghatag sa akong mga example. Siguro, if not example, i-define sa nako ang term before nato siya gamiton or before nato siya i-answer sa mga possible scenarios later on. So, ganun yung gagawin natin. This will also be a form of early review for data management na topic. Kasi, although sa module ninyo, ang focus lang is measures of central tendencies until relative position, measures of dispersion, ganun. I find it more appropriate if we focus on the understanding part of things instead of the solving part of things. You will engage in solving sa sa that ay finance, mathematics of finance. Pero dili po subject atong grabe po na solving. Not really. Because again, there's people who will work who will do the work for you probably. But I'll just introduce you the basic concepts that I think at least ikaw man lang makaya nimo on your own. Nevertheless, yan yung ating activity later. So, please, sa katong mga bago lang ni join o katong mga wala pa dere, if you have a means to inform them that we will be conducting an activity, because after this, you will submit immediately the output, your activity. So, isubmit mo yan agad-agad kasi dapat mahuman man gid na siya as we go, as we process the practice activity. So, kung ikaw kasubmit ana, my interpretation on that is either wala ka sa klase ana nga time or kanang wala ka nag-perform sa activity ani na time. Now, since I do not have the means to check your answers, so I will give you the accountability of checking your answer. So, naarad sila sa imo kung ilisan nimo imong answer sa katong tama na answer kay every time i-flash na ko ang item, answer dayon tapag man. So, naana sa imo kung ilisan nimo, but who are you fooling? It's only yourself that you will be fooling. So, I'd rather you'd be honest in your answer kaya para makit-an jud nimo kung kuan. Okay naman kung mali na siya, wala problema. At least na-correct na to siya karon pa lang kaysa sa exam ka magkamali. That would be more fatal, if I may say. So, ngayon, kung mag-answer na, kato lang honest interpretation nimo sa imuhang answer. Okay, sige. Are you now ready to begin? Nana ba yung mga papel on your side and a pen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, sige. Thank you for answering. Wait lang. So, the activity should be submitted after 3:30. I'll make it 4. Pero dapat masubmit na jud dayon, no? Kay para dili dayon ano pa, para walay minus points. Kasi supposedly you'll be doing something as of now. Okay, let's begin. So, paano ba i-answer itong per item? Each item, for instance, this one, naa siya sub-item. So, to number your paper, kada item mo dere, kaya siya A, B, C, D, E. Ana yung pagka-number. So, what you're going to do is 1 point A, 1 point B, 1 point C, 1 point D. Along the way, i-explain na ako, iingon na ako kung unsa dapat ang inyong isulat as answer. For instance, in this item, you're going to write DES for descriptive or INF for inferential. Dapat ato imong answers later. But before we're going to go to the questions, I'll explain first unsa ning descriptive ug unsa ning inferential. Now, these are the two branches of statistics, and we know that statistics is a branch where you are going to collect data, analyze that data, try to interpret, and then report that data and see how the public reacts. Ano na siya usually ang statistics. Now, the first branch is descriptive, and if naalala niyo itong topic, under descriptive statistics, ang focus dito is the population.
Sadang?
Man nga to ang target respondents, participants, or whatever. Ang ginabuhat nato dere is we describe the movement of the population. So, in other words, atong makitaan diri kasagaran ng mga reports kay summarized version, measures of central tendencies, any measures, pwedeng correlation na lang imong makitaan, naka-percentage na siya daan, because it's already a summary. Pwede siyang annual, mga summary, or anything referring to a general population. Inferential statistics, on the other hand, ang iyang focus is the samples, and it's inductive, meaning you're trying to look into the patterns and hopefully predict something, estimate something. So what you're looking into is the future. Kaya mag-predict man ta dere, mag-estimate man ta pag inferential, kaya siya inference. Kumbaga, sa pattern of the data we have. But we are only referring to the very few samples. In other words, in terms of longevity or period of time, ang descriptive, mas taas na siya nga panahon gina-perform. Ang inferential, on the other hand, is in a shorter time or ongoing ang iyahang process. So, in the first scenario here, I'll read this twice and then you answer. I'll give you time. Pwede ninyo i-share inyong answer dira sa comment section so that your other classmates would also know what your answer is. And I can also tell you why dili na siya pwede and so on. Kung dili siya pwede. And I also explain kung anong tama imong answer or dili tama based on your answers in the comment section. So basically, I'm telling you nga, pwede mo magsinundugan na. Try na pagsinundugan na. So please use the comment section if you would like to share your answers per item. So let's start with this one. By 2040, at least 3.5 billion people will run short of water. So by 2040, at least 3.5 billion people will run short of water. What is this? Is this descriptive statistics or inferential? And please do not forget to write your answers on your papers as well. Kaya muna nyo i-submit later. I-check lang po kung tama ba or mali.
Will.
Is no one going to share their answers in the comment section? Pwede ra jud kaayo. And you don't have to spell out the entire word. So, pwede yung DES lang or INF lang, whichever you're more comfortable or easy sa pag-type. or letter D na lang gani siguro or I para makita natin yung mga answers. And do not be afraid to share your answer nung pwede siya. Anyway, there are varying answers in the comments now. So the correct answer for this one is inferential. So congratulations sa mga nag-answer sa inferential. I'll explain nga ng inferential ni siya.
Ay.
Ang purpose sa inferential is to predict something. And oftentimes, ang clue ana sa iya para maingon mo siya nga inferential siya, kay future ang iyang ginaingon. Notice, by 2040, wala pa man siya. Still, 2022 pa taron. So, future siya. Meaning, you're just trying to predict that will happen in 2040. And this is a great example of inferential statistics. Next, 9 out of 10 construction workers are men. Again, 9 out of 10 construction workers are men. Is this descriptive or inferential? I'm seeing a lot of descriptive answer here, no, so far. So the correct answer for this item is descriptive statistics. Why? Nga siya yung result. You can only tell that it's descriptive kung humana ang study. So paano man ka makaingon na 9 out of 10, tapos na-consider mo na yung population. So you are no longer just predicting, may result ka talaga na specific. So descriptive siya. Next, expenditures for the cable industry were 30 million pesos. Again, expenditures for the cable industry were 30 million pesos. Alright, majority of the answers is descriptive. Let's see if this is correct. Yes, this is descriptive. Another way of determining kung descriptive ba siya or inferential, see the tense of the sentence. Is it past tense or future tense? Kung naka-past tense na siya, descriptive statistics giday na. Pero kung naka-future tense, gano'n na siya, inferential statistics na. So, bantay lang. Nagyapon yung mga English ginagmay dire. Next. The median household income for people aged 25 to 34 is 15,000 pesos. The median household income for people aged 25 to 34 is 15,000 pesos. Okay, na I mix answers, no? Let's see what the correct answer is. It's actually descriptive. Anong descriptive man na siya? Measures of central tendencies or any measures dito. Dispersion, relative position, median is part of the measures of central tendencies. And you can only identify the measures of central tendencies kung tapos na. Hindi yung ongoing pa siya. And usually, di ba, pag mag-statistics ka sa imong research, pag maggamit na kay mean, nga kaliwat man siya sa median, ang tawag yun sa ilaha kay descriptive statistics. Because the purpose of those measurements is to describe the data sets, which is the definition of descriptive statistics. Next.
Experts say So may soon be.
Experts say that GNP rates may soon hit bottom. So experts say that GNP rates may soon hit bottom. Is this descriptive or inferential?
Soon.
Nagkasundo yata lahat, no? That this is inferential, which is rightly so. Kasi may clue na dyan. Inferential, may soon, may pa lang dyan, alam mo na, no? Inferential yun siya. So, isa din yun, tense, identifying. Now, let's have the second type, the second term. Levels of measurements. Tapos na tayo doon. So, remember that? And you can also refer to the references I have shared to you na aman dito ang mga definitions sa descriptive ug inferential. Now, what are the levels of measurement? You might be familiar with this kung nagbasa na no previously. Nominal, ordinal, interval, ratio. For nominal, you can use N. For ordinal, you can use O. For interval, you can use I. And for ratio, you can use R. Now, how are these numbers or how are these levels of measurement differ from one another? Ang bottom line dere is how are numbers used? So, depende sa ilahang gamit. Let's start with nominal. Ang purpose sa number dere is for identification or labeling. Meaning, wala siya laing purpose.
Taba ma.
Dili siya pwede i-undergo og computation because for label lang man ang purpose or identification. Example, if you have a car that has a plate number of 001 and then ang isa ka car kay 999, anong indication nun? Wala. Mo lang yun to, ilang number, kay mo'y pangalan, ay mo'y gi-assign sa ilaha. Or your ID number, wala man na nagamin dara na kung mas dako yung ID number, meaning mas bright siya, or kung mas gagmay ang number sa iyang ID number, mas superior siya, and so on. Walang ganon. Because the number would simply mean that's you. And to better identify you. So, yan yung purpose ng nominal. Hindi possible ang any calculations aside sa pag-count. So, mode lang din siya. Kung i-count nato siya, kung nominal ang dataset, mode lang atong pwede gamito na anadara sa iyaha. Next, ordinal number. Ordinal number, ang purpose niya is when you're going to order numbers, rank numbers, or compare numbers. In other words, there is a judgment involved in the process. So, among levels of measurement, kanilang din siya very specific sa iyang requirement. So, may example, grades. Ang purpose of grades is to compare your performances, to identify how good you're performing or how bad you're doing in school, and to see kung kinsang naka-reach sa standards and so on. So that is already an example of ordinal. Or kanang queuing number, God. Kanang pag nagbayad ka, tas tagaan kag number na, kani imong sundan po, that is to tell you that somebody, that's your, kanang kung kinsay mas sayo. Yeah, rankings, for instance, because you're trying to compare. Basta kung ang purpose niya is comparison, then automatic ordinal na siya. Now, sabayon ako explain ang interval of ratio kay pareham gud sila isa lang nilang difference, and that is the use of zero. So I'll define first what zero is. So zero is the absence of something. So pag sinabi natin zero, wala na talaga. Nothing can be seen, nothing can be observed, and so on. However, in interval numbers, zero is present. It does not mean nothing. It exists. So, kana lang nilang difference sa ratio. In what way? Best example dyan is temperature. When I say zero temperature, it doesn't mean walang temperature. May temperature pero zero. Diba? Which also means na possible pa na magka-negative na value because there are negative temperatures. So, ana sa interval, there's a possibility of getting a negative value. So, 0 is not yet the end value. Naapay lower sa iyaha, which is negative. Ratio numbers, on the other hand, kana ng mga number na pag mayon kag 0, wala na jud. Example, measurements. Diba? Length of a stick. Nabre length na 0 or negative na length, wala. Because, again, if we say 0, wala jud, nothing. So, ana lang ilang difference sa ana ng mga numbers. Now, let's see. Again, you'll use N, O, I, and R as your answers. Let's start with this one. Serial numbers in products. Is this nominal, ordinal, interval, ratio? No sweat pa kayo ng first item, no? Majority answered nominal, which is good. Next. Rankings of students in class. Mag-explain dun ko ni bago lang. So, dapat dun ta mamali diri. Okay, majority answered O, which is ordinal. Ranking man yun siya. Among all levels of measurement, kanigid siya ang very specific sa iyahang requirement. Next. Temperatures inside 10 feet sa oven. So, murghatag hapong kuning. How about item 2.C? Okay. Easy peasy. Dali ra kayo ni ma'am. Sige. Wala pa ni challenge. Let's have weights of selected kindergarten pupils. Ay, wala pa rin challenge. But go ahead. Anyway, so eto siya. Ratio, very easy. How about this? Salaries of the coaches in the NBA.
Ay, dili man nata. Ordinal man nata. Ano?
Majority answered nominal. I think I understand why everybody answered nominal. O baka may mga naghilom-hilom dara nang nadili nominal ila answer. Because the answer is ratio. Why not nominal? Again, nominal is just for labeling. And then I mentioned earlier na pag nominal na siya, hindi possible ang other types of calculations except mode. Mode, di mo ka mag-calculate, mag-ihap naman ka dito. So, for this one, salaries, this can be done as, you can perform calculations for salaries. You can compute for mean, you can compute for median, you can compute for other computations involving salaries. Hindi din siya pwede ordinal because wala man gi-specify dara nga mag-compare ta. So, hindi. And of course, it's not interval because there's no zero salary. Kasi, I mean, negative salary. Kasi ang ano dito, if you don't work, you don't have a salary. And that is zero. So, ratio ni siya nga measurement. I hope naklaro ni. Let's proceed to the next example. Time limit in an exam.
Time limit. Ako balo. Time limit. Nothing seen.
Well, majority answered ratio, which is correct. Okay, time limit, especially kung, again, there's no possibility, gi-measure man na siya, and there's no possibility of obtaining a negative value. So, ratio yun. Next, ratings of products online.
Ratings.
There are occasional kanang answers nga nag-vary from the majority, but majority answered ordinal, which is correct. Rating man. Rating involves judging. And where do you use rating? For comparison. So, ordinal. Next, right minus wrong quiz scoring.
Right minus wrong. Hello.
Correct answer is interval. Kasi di ba, pag right minus wrong, there's a possibility of getting a negative score. Lalong-lalo na pag daghan imong mali kaysa sa tama. Next, ages of newly hired professionals.
Ages of newly hired. Ratio.
Okay, dito naman tayo sa ating confusion between nominal or ratio. Some answered ratio, some answered nominal. The correct answer is ratio. Ma'am, age mo na siya, ma'am. Do not mistake identification as yung literal na identification na makitaan sa ID. What we're referring is the use of number. And age is measured. It's not just simply counted. Gina-measure yun nato na siya. And there's no possibility of a negative value. And on top of it all, pwede nato siya ma-compute for mean and other calculations yung age. So, ratio dyan. Next, courses offered in the NSC.
Courses.
Okay, this one, may mga confusions pa rin in the answer in the section. But this is actually nominal. Kasi di mo na ito makompute ang courses. Although, there are instances na pwede na ito i-represent ang course as number. Kunwari, sa inyo BS Entrep. Pwede na ang representation ninyo dito kay 01. And then, BSIT 02. BS Education 03. And good, the number there, ang purpose lang yun ato niya is for label or for identification. Again, so nominal lang ang courses. Now, let's have qualitative or quantitative. So, ayon sa pag-move on sa levels of measurement, kay related lang niya silang siya o ang next na topic. Qualitative or quantitative, the numbers, katuganiha kay unsay purpose sa number. This one is how are you going to calculate the number? Unsa na mga possible calculations ang pwede na ito i-apply depending if it's qualitative or quantitative, and pwede po na ito siya i-apply kung variable na siya. Is it qualitative variable or quantitative? So in general, what do we mean by qualitative? So most often, this the data that you will acquire, kung qualitative na siya, are observed data. In other words, pwedeng unique ang mga answers nila. Most commonly, words siya. Pero kana ng mga words, pwede natin na siya i-tabulate into numbers. But then, ilang gina-represent again are words. So in terms of levels of measurement, si qualitative, usually, dito sila nag-focus sa nominal o ordinal numbers. While quantitative, on the other hand, focus more on numbers, on measurements. And it's referring to the interval ratio levels of measurement. So kung ganina, ma-identify na nimo ang levels of measurement, kung kabalo ka sa mga level, dali na lang po ito i-identify kung quali ba siya or quanti. Now, you're going to write qual or quan, or quali, refer nimo siya, or quanti, naara dito imong choices for your answer in item 3. So let's start first. Sub-item 3.a. Marital status of teachers in DNSC. Is it quali or quanti? So, let's see kung tama bang mga answers, no? Quali, kasagaran. So, easier na lang dun, no? Pagkabalo ka, kung nominal ba siya or ordinal. Marital status is automatically quali. Pero quali dito, specifically, nominal level. Hindi siya pwede ordinal, kaya di mo na ito ginarang ang marital status. Next, time it takes to complete an exam. Quali or quanti? Majority answered quanti. Next. Ay, ito pa rin answer. Quantitative ang answer. Next is weight of these employees in a company. Weight of these employees in a company. Almost everybody answered quanti, which is correct. Quanti na siya kaya gina-measure. Next, nationality. Very good. It's quali. Hindi na ito pwede i-quantify, no? Ang nationality, imposible kayo na i-quantify. Or unless, padaghan na yung number of Filipinos, kana, quanti na. Population of Filipinos, population of Chinese, population of Americans, kana, quanti. Pero nationality alone, that is qualitative. Next, year level of students. Almost everybody answered quanti except one person lang yata na akong kita ang nag-quali so far. Anyway, the correct answer for this one, and I have expected na murag daghan jog masangit diri nga question, no? This is actually quali. Why is this quali? Year level, ranking. That means ordinal number, qualitative. Yung year level, hindi natin sa pwede i-compute. Oh, i-mix na to. First year to fourth year. Does that mean, i-add mo ang 4, 3, 7, 10, 5, ang ilang mean in between, so on, kay it makes sense. It doesn't make sense. So what you can only do is just simply rank it. Mo na siya ng year level. Qualitative. Another, experiences of graduating students.
Okay.
So, everybody answered quali. Tingala dyan kung mamali na rin, no? Pag sa
Okay.
mga experiences, lived experiences of, mga title kasagaran sa research, quali yun na siya. Next, ages of students living in boarding houses.
Quanti.
Okay, I have mentioned this one earlier, no? Age is always measured, meaning it's quantitative. Next, gender of participants. Okay, everybody answered quali so far? Of course. Quali, specifically, nominal. Kasi, gender. Ayaw untaw ni ordinal ang gender, no? Kaya we are not comparing genders. We are not going to rank genders as well. Narratives of interviewed war veterans. Is this qualitative or quantitative?
Hmm.
Alright, so answers of the majority is quali. Good. Unique man ilang mga answers diri. Imuha man siyang i-list down yun siya differently. Pwede na to i-represent into numbers, pero dili na to pwede i-quantify. Last, length of service in the country.
Quanti.
Alright, so last item is quantitative. So, murag dali radad ka ning quanti, no? Ang pag-identify ani sa ilaha. You'll just have to ask the proper questions. Actually, kung math ning solving pod, no? You just only need to ask the correct questions para mamalaan mo unsa mo siya pag-answer. Anyway, let's proceed to the next term or terms. Kani siya related gihapon ni sa duha. So, it's like when you already know levels of measurement, pwede na po di mo ma-answeran dayon ang quali-quanti, and at the same time, kung discrete na siya or continuous. Discrete or continuous would tell us unsa kanigid siya ang better na mag-tell sa atua if kung ano na calculations ang pwede nating gawin or anong statistical tool yung dapat nating gamitin. So, discrete numbers are numbers that are countable. Ihapon lang nimo sila. Sometimes there could be calculations, but most often ang imo ra gyud pwede mabuhat kay mode ra jud, meaning you can only count. You cannot actually employ mean. Kung mean atong basis direha, mean, median, mode. Pwedeng mag-median ka, but not that much. Mostly dito jud na sila sa continuous. So discrete is countable. How? this will always be represented in whole numbers. In other words, kunwari, na ay person na kanang sa inyong classroom i-count ang inyong total population, and then you will be counted by head regardless if you're lacking some body parts, no offense meant, or kunwari if there is a packaging 50 pieces of candies, isa dito ka pack nga wala gud siya sulod, but it doesn't matter, apil to siya sa ihap nga 50 piece bag, whatever. So that's discrete. You count it however it's being presented. Continuous, on the other hand, this is being measured. You will use a certain tool to get the value. Ano bang pwede pang clue para magamit para mabalaan yung mga continuous siya? It's possible to have a decimal value for that. Sa discrete mang good whole numbers lang gina siya always. So continuous, pwede nga wala siya naka-whole number but an estimated value of pwede na wala siya decimal rather, but an estimated value. Example, pag sinabi mo ba na ang height mo is 5'5", that's just exactly 5'5"? No. There is a possibility na pwedeng lumampas ka konti, pero kasi medyo mahirap na i-quantify yung lumampas. So let's just assume na 5'5" ka. Ana siya. But again, there's a possibility of it being extended. The other way to determine kung continuous ba na siya or discrete is the use or calculation of mean. You're going to ask again, is it possible to compute for mean? If it's not, then it's discrete. Pero kung possible ang calculation ng mean, it's continuous. So example tayo, first, number of students enrolled per courses. For answer na discrete, you can write D. For answer na continuous, you can write C or however you prefer. This one is very easy. Thematic, discrete. Let's have heights of trees in BNSC. This one is also discrete or rather continuous. Okay, most answered continuous in the comments. So the correct answer is continuous. You are going to measure this. Next, weights of backpacks in the university. Weights of backpacks in the university. So this one is automatically continuous. Timbangon maninin mo. Next, battery life in hours of cell phones. Again, battery life in hours of cell phones. Is this discrete or continuous?
Continuous di ay siya.
Okay, for this item, no, letter D, for D, daghan kay mali diri permanente. This is continuous because you cannot count the battery life. Yes, you will be counting the hours, pero that's not exactly the hour lang. Diba, naging na siya extension konti. And the other way here is that it differs. Depende kung pila ang gamit nimo sa cellphone. Kung nagdula ba ka na dara, you are opening an app that requires more energy, then it's continuous. Kasi hindi gid siya specific na bisan pag unsa mo gamit, mahurot gid siya for mga 24 hours na yung lifespan regardless if you're using it or not. That would be discrete. Pero if you're using it and there are variations of result, then it's automatically continuous. Next, pieces of food in a packaging.
Ay, buang.
Mag-example ko ni ganiha. So, pag mali diri, murag na-miss out to ganiha tong answer. Ano kayo nasaag nga letter F diri? Wag mo ito choices na letter F. Okay, some answered D. There are occasional C pieces of food in a packaging. This is countable. Fix naman ay ang number dira sa sulod. May hapto dyan nimo. Discrete. Another. Ages of people studying in the university. Ages of people studying in the university. Alright, majority answered letter C. I would always understand, I do understand kung anong ma-confuse dito dari pag-abot sa age, no? Kay ato mong ginabuhat sa age, gina-count lang nato siya na, kunwari, you're born, ano ba yan, mga 2002, 2003, 2004, ganon. Tapos, what we're doing is we're just simply counting. What is your age now? I'm 18, I'm 19, I'm 20. We're just estimating. Pero if we are to be technical, ang age jud kay katong pwede natin i-appeal pa jud ang months, ang days, ang hours, ang seconds. Absurd, yes, but that's why it's considered continuous because that's not really exact. We're just trying to estimate it to a closer value that would be very understandable and easy to remember. Kaya age will always be continuous. Next, number of cell phone users in a class. Again, number of cell phone users in a class. Majority answered discrete, which is good. You can count the people who are using phones in your classroom. Next, number of times you tried a level in a game. Number of times you tried a level in a game. Is discrete or continuous?
Number of times you
Many
tried to
answered
level in a game.
continuous. Okay. Sige, let's see if it's continuous ba talaga kasi according to the majority, which is correct. Why, ma'am, pwede man mo ihapon kung kapila. This one, you don't have control kung kapila nimo pwedeng itry ang isa ka level. Which means, it could be continuous. What if? Paano mo na human ba try? So, there's no specific value here. Hence, it's considered continuous. Paano natin siya gawing discrete? If the statement would tell us the number of levels completed in a game. So, human na jud kay pruweba na human jud nimo siya. So, that would be discrete. But this one, wala mo kay assurance kung kapila jud nimo i-complete for one person. This could be a bracket 5 to 10 times or wala jud niya na daog-daog yan, install na lang niya ang dula and so on. So, continuous. Next, number of people who commutes regularly. Again, number of people who commutes regularly. There seemed to be a confusion in the comments whether it's continuous or discrete. Okay, we are involving people here and it's a pattern already. Kanina, wala mo ito'y pattern. Munang continuous siya, katong number of times. Pero eto, it's a regular habit. Meaning, naandit kayo mga specific value na pwedeng iingon dire. So this one is discrete. Kasi you can actually determine the number of people who commutes. Because you're just simply asking, pila ka bukang tao nga nag-commute? So, at some point, pwedeng fix na yung value na yun. So, dito mo sa isa ganiha kay dili mo siya ma-predict. Ito kasi siya, it has been a pattern so far. Next, number of PUVs in the city or public utility vehicles. Again, number of public utility vehicles. Is this discrete or continuous? Most answer letter D. The correct answer is discrete. Kasi, for instance, no, di ba ka pwede maging public utility vehicle kung wala ka na register daan? That alone is already an indication that it's being counted. Alam nila kung ilan, unless kulurong na siya. Pero, we're not taking into account ng mga kolorum ng mga PUVs. We are just simply looking into the legal ones here. So, discrete yan. Ka-register mo po na sila. So, at some point, if you are going to answer some of these questions, gina-apply po naman siya yung practicality in a sense. Kasi kung di siya practical, or dili naman siya ma-relate into reality, it is something absurd. Okay, next. There will also be instances where instead of giving you a scenario or a statement to deduce whether it's discrete or continuous, pwede na datasets lang ang ihatag sa imuha, and you are to identify if you are going to use if you are going to say it's discrete or continuous, like this example right here. So, sabi ko kanina, one way to know if it's discrete or continuous is calculations. Is it possible to compute something from this? Especially mean, katong mga correlation, regression. Is it possible? If yes, it's continuous. If it's not possible, it's discrete. Now, what is your answer for this? Is this discrete or continuous? So you will not be judged, ha? Kung mali ba or tama yung mga answer. Sige lang.
Di ako.
Varying opinions from the class, no? Some say it's discrete, some say it's continuous. The answer for this one is continuous. Why? Pag ganito yung number, you can actually compute for mean and median. So meaning, possible ang mga calculations. So discrete na siya. Next, how about this?
Ay. Discrete.
Is this discrete or continuous? Okay, no? Majority answered D, which is discrete. Kasi, what you can only do here is just simply count. Dili gid siya nimo pwede i-compute ang mean. So, nimo pag-compute ang mean, ani. So, you just simply count how many ones, twos, threes, and fours in the data set. So, discrete. Next, this one. Ang nangyayari niya sa definition, sa discrete or continuous, dapat dali na lang kayo na siya. No? Automatic, pag makakita og decimal value, it's continuous. Next. Unless kanang numbering gud nimo sa kanang pag nag-label ka ng 1.1, 1.2, 1.3 kana ma-discrete na siya. But in this case, this is simply continuous. Next, last na yata there are actually 8 items here with sub-items, but the time will no longer permit us to finish everything. So the remaining items, 5 to 8 items, will be through video recording, but the rest, yung 1 to 4, is already here. I will no longer record this one. So, kung wala ka karon, marang problema, jud ta, no? Gamay. Hopefully, you have learned something and makaprepare na sa exam, no? So, kung yun ang question sa exam, siguro not exactly like this ang question. But these are the possible concepts in the exam. So, at least karon pa lang na idea kung sa mga pwedeng gawas. I will not, under data management, I will not subject you to any calculation. But before that, sige, discrete ito. I will no longer continue on to the next item 5. Kuan na. It's already time. So, reminders muna tayo bago ang lahat, no? Time check, it's 3 p.m., 3:01 na. Your answer should be, you take a picture of your answer, make sure